Hi students, it's great to see you again. This is lecture 6. I have a dozen words to go over with you. I promise I'll try to go through them as quickly as I can. Let's get started. The first one, the letter P is silent, so the correct pronunciation is pseudonym. Will you say it with me? Pseudonym. Pseudonym. A pseudonym is a name that someone uses, especially a writer, instead of using his or her real name. For example, do you know who Samuel Clemens is? No? He's best known by his pseudonym, Mark Twain. He wrote classic novels such as The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. I don't know why Harry Potter keeps coming up in my lecture, but J.K. Rowling is super crazy famous for Hogwarts, and it's very difficult for her to write about any other genre. So in the past, she has used a pseudonym. In Korean, it's Pilmyoung. Look at the next one. Translucent. Translucent. And guys, I'm just looking at your handout here. Of a substance, that could be glass, water, plastic, I suppose almost anything. Something that allows light to pass through, but not detailed images. Let me say that once more. Translucent is something that allows light to pass through, but it's not very clear. Semi-transparent. Indeed, students, many people get translucent and transparent confused, or they're often used interchangeably, but they are a little bit different. And please let me take just a moment to compare and contrast the two vocabulary words. Incidentally, translucent is your vocabulary word, so transparent, things that are transparent are so clear, it's as if nothing is there. That's transparent. Make sure I get this right. Transparent, something that's so clear you can see right through it as if there's nothing there. Now take a look at this. This is a photograph of a chess set, and the pieces are made of glass. The pieces in the background are transparent, and the pieces in the foreground are translucent. Translucent, in contrast, it allows light to pass through, but with significant diffusion. So the light is spread out, or significant distortion. These pieces are translucent. Another good example is stained glass windows that we might see in a cathedral. They are translucent, so you can see through them, but they are semi-transparent, not well. Translucent, bantumyeonghan. Let's go to the next one, an adjective. Eccentric. Please say it with me. Eccentric. It just means behaving in a strange or unusual way. Hey guys, do you know this Spanish artist? His name is Salvador Dali. He's best known for his surrealism paintings, or surrealist. And as you can see, he has kind of a crazy mustache. He died some years ago. Maybe you recognize his paintings. This is one of his most famous. It's called The Persistence of Memory. I'm not sure why, but these were very popular when I was in high school. And you can see these horses and elephants with long legs. Most people have cats and dogs for pets, but Salvador Dali, he had an anteater, Gamey Haltke, as a pet. And I have a photograph. This is Salvador Dali in Paris. So here's the artist, and he's walking his pet anteater, and people are looking on. So why did he have Gamey Haltke as a pet? I don't know. He was an eccentric fellow. In Korean, it's Byeolnan. The only question in my mind, eccentric, does it have a positive or a negative connotation? It depends on how it's used. Salvador Dali is eccentric, but I think it's okay. Really, it depends on the context and tone of voice. But anyway, eccentric, Byeolnan. Look at the next one, guys. It's a noun, lexicon. If you don't learn any words this semester, I hope you know this one. Very simply, it means vocabulary. The vocabulary of a person. So me, you, your mom, your dad. The vocabulary of a language. French, German, Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, Swedish, Italian, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, Turkish, Mongolian, Nihongo, Arabic, Farsi, and Hindi. I was trying to name all of your majors. So the vocabulary of a language and the vocabulary of a branch of knowledge. For example, engineering, medicine, and law. Each of those fields of study, they have terminology that's unique to that kind of work. So look at that first example. It's here at the bottom. In the first year of law school, we learned a large number of words that became the basics, that became the foundation of our legal lexicon. So, our legal vocabulary. And just in general, guys, I'm not a doctor, but in the field of medicine, physicians, they have terminology that's unique only to other doctors. So, a medical lexicon. The lexicon of computer technology is large and growing. So, the vocabulary of computer technology is large and growing. That's all it is, guys, is vocabulary. By the way, guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we'll be covering a lot of different words. This is just a photograph of a dictionary this semester. And I know at the end of the semester, you will not remember all of the words. I might not even remember all of them. But just some friendly advice. If I were you, of course I want you to know all the words for the midterm and final, but once our class has ended, if I were you, I would choose 2 or 3 words from any lecture that you like. Not words that I like, but words that you think are cool, fun, maybe useful, and remember them forever. Okay, what's next? Aha, it's an adjective. Clairvoyant. Do you know clairvoyant? It means to be psychic. Clairvoyant means to be able to predict the future. To know about events even though you weren't there. You didn't see it happen. And this is a photograph of tarot cards. I think it's kind of a form of entertainment, but people who claim to be clairvoyant, like a fortune teller, they will put these cards on a table and maybe give you a prediction about your love life or the success of your career or something like that. Frankly, I'm a little skeptical. Look at the next one, guys. It's a noun. I think you probably know this one. It's an armistice. In Korean, it's yujan. I'm sure you know it. I have a photograph. I know it's backwards on your screen, but this is a photograph of an old newspaper. It says, "Armistice is signed, Germany surrenders." So this is announcing the end of the First World War. So armistice is just a halt in the fighting, a temporary peace. Students, look at the second example on your handout. Do you see where I am? So diplomats are hoping to negotiate an armistice between the warring nations. So they're trying to reach a ceasefire, a stop in the fighting. Okay, so that's armistice. Look at the next one, guys. This is not an accident. I have the vocabulary word written twice. Plague. I have it written as a noun and a verb. I want you to know them both. So the first one, I think you're probably familiar with, is, well, let's just say it together. Plague. Plague. Please say it with me. Plague. It's just a disease, an easily spread disease that's capable of causing a large number of deaths. You will remember from your history class the bubonic plague in the 14th century killed millions of people in Europe. I think it was because of, I'm not sure, but infected rats. Actually, it wasn't rats, but it was fleas. Fleas bit the rat, and then the flea would drink the blood of the rat and then jump on the sailors. The sailors would reach a port, for example, Venice, and then the plague would begin to spread quickly throughout the population. This next photo is disgusting. It's a photograph of a flea under a microscope, and you can see the mouse blood inside of it, the infected blood. And this being the final result. So that's plague. Plague, it can also, this is the verb, it can also mean annoy or bother. So I'm plagued with self-doubt means I'm plagued with anxiety. So the noun is yakbyang, and the verb, gui lap hida. Mosquitoes will plague the campers if they forget to wear insect repellent. So that just means annoyed. So students, honestly, I hear plague used much more often as a verb than a noun, but please do study both definitions and examples. Okay, this next one, it's a noun. I want to help you with the pronunciation. The vocabulary word is hierarchy. So higher, arc, e. Let's say it together. Hierarchy. 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 So a hierarchy, guys, is a system in which people and ajushis, a system in which people are placed in a series of levels of different importance or status. It looks like this. This is a hierarchy. I don't have a photo, but the easiest example I can think of is a military hierarchy. So sergeant, lieutenant, captain, general. That's a military hierarchy. Also, I'm trying to think of another example. A corporate hierarchy. So at a large company, you have new employees, assistant manager, manager, chief financial officer, and CEO would be at the top of the hierarchy. What's another example? This is an old map of India. As you may know, India had a caste system for thousands of years. It was a Hindu social and religious hierarchy. At the lowest level is probably the most famous, the so-called untouchables. They would perform unpleasant jobs like street cleaning. Then there were manual laborers, farmers, traders, merchants, rulers and warriors, and at the top level were priests, scholars, and academics. I'm trying to think of another example. Let's see. My papers are flying away. Hang on. So I have one last example. The Catholic Church, believe it or not, has a pretty rigid hierarchy. At the lowest level, you have priests and nuns. Then at the next level, bishops, archbishop, cardinals, and of course at the top of the hierarchy is Pope Francis. So that's hierarchy. In Korean, I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. Geilapje. So a system in which people are placed in a series of levels with different importance or status. Look at the next one. This is a good one. It's a noun. Please say it with me. Holy Grail. Holy Grail. Historically, guys, the Holy Grail, I'll just go ahead and say it, is a cup. Something you might drink water or wine from. And this is a painting by Renaissance master Leonardo da Vinci. And here, this is titled The Last Supper. You can see Christ and his disciples. And this is, the depiction is just before he was crucified. And according to lore or legend, he used this cup at the Last Supper. So Holy Grail, historically and according to legend, is a cup. However, look at the definition. Holy Grail is something that you want very much, but is very hard to get or achieve. And I underlined it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. An object could be anything. An object or goal that is sought after, means trying to get. An object or goal that is sought after for its great significance. And guys, I want you to look at that first example. Do you see where I am? I circled it on my paper. Finding a cure for cancer is the Holy Grail for medical researchers. 이해했어요? There is no cure for cancer. There's treatment for cancer, but there's not really a cure. So finding a cure for cancer is the Holy Grail for scientists. What's another example? Finding a planet with water and a similar atmosphere to Earth is the holy grail for astronomers. 이해했어요? That's holy grail. What is that in Korean? I had a hard time finding a translation for this. Let's see here. 궁극적 목표. Ultimate goal? Something like that. Students, holy grail, find it on the midterm. Next, it's a verb, simulate. Simulate. Imitate the appearance or character of. It sounds similar to emulate. Emulate, simulate, but it's different. Excuse me. Simulate, imitate the appearance of. Let's see here. Look at the example. This, again, I have the same handout as you. Where am I? Right? Jogi. So various insects have a marvelous capacity. So some insects have this amazing ability to protect themselves by simulating the appearance of twigs or sticks and other objects in their environment. Okay, let's see here. Take a look at this, guys. This, believe it or not, is a stick insect. In Korean, jabole. And, okay. Look at this, I brought one. This is my pet jabole. Yes, Professor's eccentric. I have a pet jabole. I'm just kidding, it's a stick. It's a stick pretending to be a stick insect. Yes, such a good stick. Okay, only kidding. Take a look at this, guys. This is a moth or nabang, and as you can see, it's blending in. It's camouflage, and it looks very similar to the tree bark. That one's easy. And take a look at this one. It appears to be simulating the leaf it's sitting on. Now I know you can see it. It starts off easy, but it gets more difficult. Can you see it? Yogi. This one's neat. There's two. Can you see them? Tell me what you see here. It's 3 frogs. 1, 2, 3. They appear to be simulating the leaves. Okay, now it gets really hard. As a matter of fact, I need something. Oh no. Oh. I'm looking for my marker, which I don't have. So sad. Where is it? I'm sure I'll find it after the video. I had it last night. Very difficult to find. I have to look myself. Oh, There it is. Believe it or not, that's a moth. All right, this is the hardest one. Ooh. I'll try to help you. Even I have trouble seeing it. Do you see it? It's almost unbelievable, guys, but there it is. I don't know if it'll focus, but it's here. That is a moth. Unbelievable. So it's simulating the bark. Very camouflaged. I wish I could get it to focus. Can you see? Anyway, it's there. All right, so that's simulate. 2 more and we'll be done, guys. This next one, easy. Tedious. It's an adjective. Long and tiresome. Synonym is just boring. Jirohan is, all you have to do is think about my lecture. Do you think my lecture is Jirohan? Long and tiresome. Just to give you a quick example, sometimes it can be something repetitive. For example, I love teaching, but grading quizzes is time consuming, and it can be a little tedious. Anyway, whenever you think of tedious, just think of our lecture. And the last one, concur. Maybe you already know this one. Simply means to agree. Scott's lecture is unbelievably tedious. I concur. All right, guys. I'll stop the video here. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week. Goodbye.